Just before I kick things off and start looking on the hellscape of social mania, just want to give a few shout outs. Most of you on my Patreon, I would imagine, will have watched the first production that I created for it, the short film The Slow Cancellation of Mark Fisher's Russell Brand. I'm really pleased with how that piece turned out. The first person I'd like to give a shout out to is Kip Cozy for the fantastic film work. Kip Cozy from 1250 TV. Kip's an amazing filmmaker, brilliant producer, and also to Eden Clark, whose help was invaluable in the creation of that work. Also shout out to Ewan Fleck. Ewan Fleck did some incredible extra B-roll film work on that, and to Alison Miller as well, who was instrumental in helping that film come together. Thanks to everyone who shared it and given me feedback on it. And also, respect to Ashley Frawley. I obviously had quite a lot to say. I perhaps was a little unaware of just how much I had to say. But respect to Ashley for taking the time to talk to me. And you can check out that video with Ashley. The first part's on our YouTube channel and the second part is on our Patreon. It's well worth joining our Patreon. I joined our Patreon and it's absolutely stuffed with interesting material. Where are we at? Where are we at indeed? Genocide, an actual genocide, like a genocide of human beings, and all the rhetoric and all the bloviating idiots on the media or the political class or otherwise can't hide the truth. It's obvious. Anyone with a brain, with a set of eyes, can see what's going on. There's no excuses for it. It's a filthy collaboration between imperialist mindsets, large sections of demonic military industrial capital, psychotic white supremacist patriarchy, whatever you want to call it. The end result is poor people being annihilated on a daily basis, innocent people, and fundamentally children, so many children. Irrespective of your core political position on things or your core cultural perspective on matters, what we're seeing and what's occurring there is really beyond comprehension. It's beyond words. It's vomit inducing. The fact that we've even become somewhat inured to it, to these images. People use this term, that we're desensitised. I don't know if that is quite the right term to use. I'd have to give that a bit more thought, but I'm not sure desensitised is the term. You're so incapable of having any ability to do anything about it that it seems just so abstract. So there's an abstract quality to it. We see these images and the heterogeneity of social media means that, between seeing some child with limbs blown apart, saddled beside some sort of culture war garbage, how do we make any sense of this? And there are no leaders. As Terence McKenna says, we are led by the least among us. So, yeah, it's a dull time for humanity, but here we are on Bonnie Prince Bob's Capital Consciousness Patreon. So what is it that we can figure out while we're here? I'm not entirely sure. Let's have a look on social mania. I was very... The fuck is... Look at this. I mean, for fuck's sake, you know what I mean? It's like... I didn't know that was going to be there, but that's... Off to a flyer, a big fucking bell end, right. I said, I am uncomfortable with the activist class. I don't relate. Israel's actions are untenable, but a bunch of woke twats donning headscarves and screaming for an intifada is just another exciting identity for these muppets to fuck about with. I'm unconvinced of the progressive nature of this. People want to argue with me about this, feel free to do so. I get you, the organised left is middle class, but I was at the march in London on Saturday and the turnout from Asian and black communities was equal to that of the white middle classes. The ordinary folk from all ethnicities turning out en masse for Palestine is unprecedented. Maybe in London, that's a very multicultural place, London. Maybe I'm not talking about them. Maybe I'm talking about the sections of the bourgeois middle classes that are the activist class. That's really what I'm talking about.
Palestine!
Free, free!
Palestine!
Free, free!
Palestine!
From the river to the sea!
Palestine will be free!
Rishi Sunak!
Shame on you!
Debbie Abrams!
Shame on you! Well done, well done.
My question would be this. For all of those people, the thousands, the tens of thousands of people who have gone out and marched against this horror, do you have my solidarity? I think people need to go on the streets and they need to demonstrate that they're opposed to something. But who are you going to vote for? We have a genocide occurring and we are unable to condemn it from our elected representatives. Keir Starmer's Labour Party can't condemn it They won't condemn the genocide. You want rid of the Tories because they're different from who? The other folk that won't condemn a genocide. Who are you going to vote for? This is the year that we should be disrupting democracy. And there are ways that I think that can be done. There are genuinely ways that I think that can be done effectively. But first of all, people have to get it into their heads that the political class are all the same. Let's have a look at my story.
You go way too fast. Don't slow down, you're gonna crash. You should watch what you're stinging.
I want to define anarchism.
David
Well, I guess you could have a short version and a long version. The short version is simple. Anarchism is democracy without the government. You know, most people love democracy. Most people don't like the government very much.
Down there in the target, so I go with sufferation.
So Joanna Cherry, an SNP MP at Westminster, elected under the safety of a party political seat, thought it was fair game to slag me for not winning a seat when I ran as an independent for Edinburgh Central. If ever you needed an example of the contempt and entitlement that the neoliberal political class have for both democracy and their right to be the representatives of it, it was through that exchange. It would be distasteful for any elected parliamentarian, to deride a party rival, for example, a party political rival, for failing to win a vote in an election. To attack an independent candidate when the odds are stacked immeasurably against them, it's pretty ridiculous to say the least. But it exposes Joanna Cherry for what she is, which is exactly what I said she is, a fraud, an ineffectual fraud, like all the political class. It's time for everyone in this country, Scotland, or the United Kingdom, if you're part of the United Kingdom, it's time to stop participating with this pantomime manufactured by the political class and the media class that there are somehow significant differences between these individuals. There is no difference. And if we're going to have any kind of functioning democracy, we need to put an end to the neoliberal monopoly on our democracy. Because this is what we've got. Let me tell you the person, David Jameson, who I still believe is Scotland's finest journalist, he used a term, I don't know if it's his term, but if it is, it's a great term to coin for them. He calls them cartel parties. And that's what they are. We are under the oppressive governance of cartel parties. So we elect gangsters to collectively operate against our interests and the interests of capital. And that's essentially what our supposed democracy is. So if we're going to have gangsters, why don't we have our own gangsters? That would be my suggestion. It's time that we put our own gangsters into power. And the only way that we can do that is if we register to vote. People say, I don't want to register to vote, the government will have my details. Like, you got a mobile phone.
Register to vote? Oh, do I want to put my details in the government computers? You know, what are your fucking details anyway? Everybody that gets fucking universal credit and everything like that, all your details are already there. They've already got all your details. Put your address in and just put your name in and register to vote. It's the last thing that you can actually do now. You can't change the board unless you register to vote, right? That's the one thing that they would love to really actually get rid of. Oh no, it's the website, it's the government website and that, eh? Nah man, I'm not putting my name in there. Well good, they fucked you then, haven't they? That's why they've made it look even intimidating to register to vote. That's why they've made it like that. Just register to vote. Well then we can have a conversation, eh? Unless you've registered to vote, no point in having the conversations.
We long since sacrificed our right to privacy. So you need to register to vote, and then from there are various paths to pursue, because the corruption of our democracy ironically lies in the fact that they like the fact that fewer and fewer and fewer and fewer people vote. They want a low turnout. Incidentally, the vote share that I did take on that election, that I was pleased with it for a whole number of different reasons. So there wasn't a problem for me. I actually brought in more votes than I privately had thought I would have brought in. But what is interesting about this is when she says, your phony lefty shtick is so tired. That part of it was more annoying to me than the attack on my vote share. Because if she means my interest and desire to see a significant revival of class politics, then I think that's quite a revealing thing for her to say. People who attack you for being some kind of inauthentic avatar of left-wing politics because you advance a class-based position, that's a deeply revealing insight into where they sit politically. Now, I personally don't think that somebody like Joanna Cherry has any politics. Most of the voters who vote for the SNP are probably Republicans. So not only are you a member of the Scottish National Party, you're an elected representative of them at Westminster. Now, in my opinion, if you really are looking to have an independent administration in Scotland, the only feasible position as a party, if you're going to have parliamentarians at Westminster, is to not sit there like Sinn Féin. I think that's just what you should do. I just don't think you should be entertaining that place. She wants to go down there and enjoy the trappings of Westminster. That's fine, good for her. She's also a King's Counsel, an establishment lawyer. This is the hypocrisies and contradictions that exist within the Scottish Neoliberal Party. They've proven themselves unfit to advance any type of independence project for Scotland. They have demonstrated that they are really just a party of careerists, but then that's not exclusive to them, but that is what they are. And she's a representative for Edinburgh South. And what's happened to Edinburgh? Anybody that lives in Edinburgh knows that Edinburgh is a disaster. Edinburgh is a political and social disaster on every conceivable level. This is the capital city of Scotland, and it is a farce. And yes, we've now got a Labour administration in the council, and that's a joke. This guy here, Councillor Scott Arthur.
Hi there, my name's Scott Arthur. Today I've been down at the big bus garage.
This guy is the biggest danger to Edinburgh ever. Look at he's made a video. He made a video of cars. Put some music on it and that. This is the whole video. It's just a video of motors and that. Like, that's the transport guy. It's the biggest teapot roaster twat that we've ever had in the council, and that's a fucking pretty significant achievement considering the fannies that we've had. Here he is.
Is Scott Arthur, and right now I'm the Transport and Environment Committee.
An 8-minute long video.
Here.
Look at him.
It's Scott Arthur, and I'm the councillor for Collington, Oxgangs and Fairmile Head.
Ah, good for you. It's like Alan Partridge, but it's fucking far more disturbing. It's like a satire, but you've got to realise that if you're actually in the town and you've seen the state of the town, it's a farce. Scott Arthur's going to be the Labour candidate, right? First of all, he shouldn't be voted in because he's a nut job from Kirkcaldy who's not got a Scooby about Edinburgh and whose planning and policy is actively ruining and destroying the city. And anybody that drives a car, or has any problems, like, this is the guy that's causing all your problems. This is the guy who you want to be paying attention to. But also, these are the type of bureaucratic quits that are also just going to go along with the party line. So when Keir Starmer says it's alright what Israel are doing, these are the quits that are going to nod along like nodding dogs and just do what they're told. That's exactly why somebody like that should be removed from any form of power. This guy's got to be an MP if you're not careful. This teapot, this absolute screwball is going to be an MP if you vote for the Labour Party. Get these clowns to fuck. Pay attention. This was an interesting story. The Promise Care Reform Project spends £2 million on external contractors. This is Nicola Sturgeon's flagship project for overseeing reform in the children's care system. And it transpires that they've just been filling their boots. Fiona Duncan there, the woman in this picture here, she's paid more than the First Minister herself. She's paid £700 a day. The offices that they have are 11 grand a month. Charlotte Street charlatans the lobbyists, they got paid a whole heap of money out of it. This is Nicola Sturgeon's legacy. A bunch of neoliberal bastards filling their boots. Why does this woman need to be paid £700 a day? And why does this project require offices that are £11,000 a month? This is about children in care. That money is supposed to go and help vulnerable children in care. £2 million spent on external contractors. And that's what neoliberalism is. They spend money to make themselves look good. So they see a video, fancy website or a graphic that says something about themselves, and it's like a reflection in the mirror. It says, oh, hi, that's me, that's what I look like. I'm a very important person. That's what it is. That's what it is. So Nicola Sturgeon's legacy for her time as First Minister is that she set up a project to reform children's care, and the people that are involved in that project are filling their boots with taxpayers' money. They're paying themselves extraordinary salaries, spunking money on fancy offices and fancy refits for those offices. Think about how efficiently that money could be spent for people, vulnerable kids and all the rest of it. It's a disgrace. If people want to do something about politics, you need to take these bureaucrats like Joanna Cherry and all these other imposters and get them out. And you know who to get in? Normal people, real people who represent their communities. There are ways to do that. There are ways to do that. People always say to me, you're always complaining about things, you've got no solutions. Well, actually, I do have solutions. And I think they're workable solutions. But if you think I'm going to explain that, firing it off in some tweet to some nondescript avatar who's harassing me, then you're mistaken. That's not how I'm intending to go about this. Anyway, we'll come back to that. We'll come back to that another time. See, let's check out some of the artists that I am fond of. Let's check out 1250. This is 1250 Instagram, but they put clips of their stuff up here, so have a look here. This guy's good, 63. Let's what's he doing?
They talking that shit, they got it for gas. Wrote a new clip and I'm letting it blast. Been climbing the scene, the trees and branch. They see me the green with the devil I dance. It cost me my beans, give them to Jack. Taking my seat, they need to be asked. They keeping the heat, hot tea in the flask. Aim for the heat, you can see by the gash. They come with gypsy, attached to the mask. Made to retreat as I'm blasting back. I'm sailing the seas, blacking my mast. Approaching the shore, all you see is the fans. You see there's a stream, one we all had. One as a nation we needed so bad. And knew that the young team are seizing their chance. We breathe for our tartan and bleed for a flat. I'll be right man on site, they'll get dragged.
Oh, he's good, man. There's loads of great artists on this channel. Sherlock's got a new video out. Where's his video out yet? It'll be out soon. The video is great.
When you were up, I was down low. Let it slip now, where did my crown go? I date for the city, my peeps. Chilling on the street, man, I date for the town folk. I date for the G23, my G. Nah, don't pipe up, you be out cold. I'm a good cunt, but I'm quite bold. How you tap me, you kinda get an ounce sold. When you were up, bro, I tell you the truth, I really couldn't give a fuck. I wish you success and much bread, long as it's no mine.
Good, eh? There's a lot of great stuff. He's great, man. This is another one. Oh wait, we better go and look at this.
Shaking of them boots with a high fright. I tailed out a ear on a high flight. Come a meditation so high, right? No guns, no knife, this a high fight. Can't bust wedge like no high kite. Jah control our seasons, control stormy night. Shock from lightning, Babylon lie light. Think you a big dog, alright, try bite. Vengeance is Jah, Babylon fry right. Then
Brilliant. This guy's funny.
Vanessa,
if you've got
you're
TikTok,
absolutely fucking spot on.
I don't look at TikTok much,
so guys,
but this guy is funny.
On here.
Things about cam models that you might not know. There's not just one type of cam girl. Every single one of them looks different. There's plus size, there's thinner cam girls, there's curvy cam girls, there's girls with big boobs, there's girls with small boobs. There's just a range of different types.
When I tried crack cocaine, it was just like the icing on the cherry on the cake. And what I did is I went to my best friend's house and give it him to try. I just went, mate, you think them E's was good last night? Check this out. And next minute, we're both crack addicts.
James and his cousin Brian have slipped back to using heroin.
I bet you didn't know that Kurt Cobain was probably trans. Here's why. First off, Kurt wore a lot of women's clothing.
I mean, why would we not be all on TikTok, eh?